Yeah, they're shooting fireworks off already. You might be able to hear it in the background. This is Greggatron. How's everybody doing? Do you like my shirt? Yeah. Yeah. Alright. I might start doing that in my intros. You know what I'm saying? Alright. This video is about the media. Alright. There's a quote. It's a Malcolm X quote. And it's a quote, but I'm not quoting it right. So there's a paraphrase from Malcolm X. It's like, the media is the enemy of the people. They can make what's true appear to be false, and they can make what's false appear to be true. And that's what controls the masses. Something like that. And I see it more and more every year, every month, every week. And I wanted to talk about this for a reason. Excuse me. So, a week ago, that presidential debate happened, the first one. And as we all know, Biden did terribly. And I'm not going to talk about the debate because everybody's already seen the debate. Everybody's already talked about the debate. You don't need my opinion on the debate itself. Well, here's the thing. Prior to the debate, all these news outlets were saying, not all of them, but the liberal media was saying, oh, Biden's so sharp. Biden's wonderful. Biden's this. Biden's that. He's the man. He is the man, remember? He's the sharpest I've ever seen him, Joe Scarborough said on MSNBC. This is the sharpest version of Biden ever. Fast forward, that debate happened, and now they're all turning on him because he did so terrible. They can't lie to us anymore. So I'm just amazed how the media did a total 180 on this guy. And it's not so much that, it's people who watch those stations, they still believe it. They're like, oh wow, I would have never thought. Wow, he had a really bad night. But the conservatives have been saying this since day one, since before he got in office. I remember telling people people who bring this stuff up to me, I remember telling people, you know he has dementia, right? And you know what they told me? Greg, are you a doctor? Greg, have you seen his medical records? Greg, did you diagnose him with anything? You shouldn't just go around saying people have dementia when you don't know. I'm like, really? Really? Well, now fast forward 4 years and this guy pretty much has dementia. But this isn't about Joe Biden. This is about the media. The media does this country a huge disservice because the only thing it does is it hypnotizes people like in a trance. It really has people believing just whatever they spew, whether it's wrong or right. When people watch the news, it's like they're hypnotized. And the media will actually control how people think. And that's dangerous. Because when your thoughts are being controlled, you go out and you have these beliefs and you act upon it. And your reality is one thing, when in actual reality, it's total opposite. But they believe this stuff as if it's God. Like the media, to some people, is God. They don't think, well, wait a second. maybe I should think twice about this. No, they just hear stuff. And I talk to a lot of different people, friends, family members, coworkers. People tell me stuff, and I'm just like, how did you come to this? Who's telling you this stuff? Do you believe the stuff you're saying? So the media lied about Biden. The media lies on Trump. The media lied about George Floyd. The media lied about COVID-19. The media lied about the vaccines. Hunter Biden. Basically, the media has been lying ever since JFK was killed. I mean, the list just goes on. And people really just believe it. It's just crazy to me. It's like the news can tell you that the sky is yellow, and y'all will believe that the sky is yellow. I mean, the media will tell you, let's say there's an event where a white person kills a black person. The media will say it's racism and white supremacy and all this stuff. We don't even know the circumstances to the death. Was it a murder? Was it in self-defense? Was it manslaughter or what? They won't even tell you that. But they just want to spin stuff so hard to control your perception, to make you angry, so they can control you. You're basically being hypnotized. Like mind control. And I noticed when I tell people certain things, the way they reject it is so hard. Like, basically I'm better off not telling them anything at all, because they just go crazy. Like, I've had people say crazy stuff about me just because I told them my opinion. You really can't tell people the truth because they've been listening to the media, the mainstream media, for so long. That's all they know. That's really all they know. So both sides of the political spectrum, they're both polarized. You could even say both sides are like cultist. But there's no middle ground anymore because of the media. Like, for example, you can't convince a Trump supporter to vote for Biden, and you can't convince a Biden supporter to vote for Trump, because both sides now are so polarized. This is not the same as George Bush versus Al Gore, right? It's so spread apart at this point, and I blame the media, that you really can't even have a conversation at the dinner table for Thanksgiving about certain things because people just blow up. So I guess the bottom line is think for yourself and do your own research. And don't be so quick to freaking be hostile when somebody tells you something. Like, let's just say something sounds crazy, right? Be like, oh, all right, well, let me look into that. Or, where'd you find that? Or who told you that? Let me look into that. Don't be so quick. Excuse me. Don't be so quick to freaking pop off at the mouth. And I realized I learned stuff from people who I respect, but I learned stuff from my enemies too, if I have enemies. You mean to tell me you can't be walking down the street and get wisdom from a homeless man? You can get wisdom / knowledge / information from anybody. I mean, I learned more about God thanks to Satan, because at one point, Satan thought he had me, and then I realized, wait a minute. All these thoughts in my head, which is Satan essentially, therefore God has to exist. Because you can't have one without the other. So my point is, listen to other people. Because some stuff just makes sense and some stuff doesn't make sense. And if you don't know something, or even if you think you know it, it's okay to ask the other person questions. Like, let's just say you're a know-it-all, right? I don't like know-it-alls. Let's just say you're a know-it-all. It's okay to be a know-it-all and still ask people questions. Because you can still learn from someone who's not a know-it-all, who actually knows it all. The more you know, the more you realize you don't know. See? I can spit some knowledge too. But yeah, the media is a joke. This is why all these news outlets are tripping, because you got people like Joe Rogan and those type of guys who are on Twitter, YouTube, social media platforms, because everybody now has a smartphone, so it's easier to access different forms of news through that opposed to watching TV. People don't just sit around in the living room anymore to watch their TV. They're on their phones. Like, when was the last time you saw somebody reading a newspaper? And as far as journalism goes, these journalists are the worst. They're not asking real questions. They're really not. Like, there's no such thing as a journalist anymore. They're just pushing an agenda. Let's keep people angry. Let's keep black people hating white people. Let's keep the whites hating the Jews. Let's make sure the Jews hate the Muslims. Let's make sure the Muslims hate these people. And I know it's fake. And here's an example. I used to go to a lot of rap concerts prior to COVID-19. And every concert I went to, everybody was just having a great time. You had blacks, whites, Asians, Arabs. We had, Muslims at these concerts. And it was crazy. Lupe Fiasco concerts, Tech Nine concerts. Eminem was mostly white. Tal Kweli had all kinds of people. Joe Budden. I mean, everybody. DMX had a decent amount of white people. All these different types of people all came from different backgrounds, but they were all singing the same songs. They were all rapping the same songs. Ladies, men, young people, old people, you name it. Everybody was getting along. Therefore, if all these perfect strangers are getting along, how is the media going to tell me the white man's your enemy? Or this person's your enemy? Or how's the media going to tell a woman the man is your enemy? You should be a feminist. Nah, man. I don't believe it. Because I've had white homies and black homies both who show me mad love. And I'm going to make another video about this. It's going to be called I Have the Best Friends in the World. Because I have some dang good friends. And half of them are white. So I just don't believe this narrative. Any of the mainstream narratives anymore. It's so bad that when the media says one thing, something about me automatically wants to think the opposite. That's how much the media has lied. In the past, I'd say 4 years. COVID is what really woke me up. But I'm not going to get too deep into that. I didn't drop any videos during COVID for a reason. But yeah. I could talk for another 30 minutes, but you guys get the point. Listen to yourself, listen to other people, take the best of both worlds, and just think. Just think for yourself. And don't be an idiot. If something sounds like it could be true, think, well, and I also think, how did this person get to this conclusion? How did this person become this way? How long has this person been thinking this way? And why? How did this person grow up? How was this person raised? I can get more information from perfect strangers than I can from watching the news. That's how bad it is. Because a perfect stranger has no reason to lie to you. What does a perfect stranger gain by lying to you? You're never going to see him again. Whereas the media is getting paid to lie to you. It's getting deep in here. I'm going to say that again. A perfect stranger gains nothing by lying to you because you're never going to see that person again. Whereas the media is getting a paycheck. They're getting paid to lie to you. I was about to cuss. They're getting paid to lie to you. And these people, these hosts on these networks, they're all millionaires, just saying. So just imagine what the tip of the pyramid, that guy, the owner, the CEO of these corporations, CNN, MSNBC, NBC, ABC, Fox, etc., etc. Imagine how much money they're racking in just by hypnotizing your dumb A. I'm trying to keep it clean. And we're down here on the ground fighting and being broke about stupid stuff. You're broke and you're fighting when the CEOs of these news outlets are rolling in dough and they're rich. That's food for thought. Peace.